This is basically the first module, and I'll welcome you back again. This is about what we're going to cover in this class, and data is the essence of data visual analytics, where we're going to talk about what we do with this data and how we can convert this data to a more meaningful sense. I download. You will have the download of the PowerPoint. You'll be able to download the PowerPoint, so you'll be able to have access to it. And so the issue is, what do we do with this data? What is it, and why are we so keen about that? So the definition of data is about facts, about characters and symbols, and that's according to the dictionary. But at the next level, we have information, which is a fact or learn about something or someone, and this is the next level. And knowledge is the next level after we have the data, we sort the data based on analysis or based on any other form, and we get this information to create some knowledge, and based on this knowledge or based on the experience, we get some wisdom. So the issue of wisdom is the quality of experience, knowledge, and a good judgment. If you have a good judgment, you are based it's based on data and based on information. In order for us to illustrate this idea of data, information, knowledge, and wisdom, McDonald in 2011 converted into visual representation. And he says that data is about read or number, and information is about meaning, which is example the light. When we drive to campus this week, it probably will be very busy, and so we are heading towards this light, and we are getting a notification from our phone, hey, it's going to turn red. So this is the knowledge that we are getting notification, and we need to start slowing down because the traffic light is going to turn red. And the wisdom is that we better stop the car, otherwise we will get into an accident. So this is the data information, knowledge visualization, and how we can create a narrative that can be converted into visualization. So what is data? This is all what it is all about. It's about data points, about points that represent data, and it is assigned to a thing or to represent something. And the definition of data, according to Wikipedia, is the idea that it refers to a fact that some existence, information, or knowledge is represented or coded in some form suitable for better use or process. So the data usually represented by numbers or text, and we can sort the data based on statistics or analytics, based on a module or a theory, based on human experience. And in the end of the day, we have 7 million people who post messages or pictures on Twitter, including our president. So those are the things that we need to look at. So the data, as I said, can be about text. And the problem with data, it cannot speak for itself. Numbers, the same problem. The problem is that numbers cannot speak for themselves. So in order for us to make sense out of it, we often use spreadsheet. It is idea of sorting the data into row and columns. Each value has a predefined relationship to another value. And so if we will look at the history, and we will look at the history of spreadsheet, we can see that in 1968, the Post Office Service Bank in England, issue a spreadsheet that was based on paper. It consists of who gave the deposit, who was the clerk that signed the deposit, and and the official signature of the bank to the to have some record of it. Nowadays, we can do that electronically with our phone, or we have a ticket that we need to sort this data. So the idea here is that the spreadsheet is the idea that it was a development in 1970, mid 1970. It was not Bill Gates. Bill Gates just updated the idea, but this is where it was created. It was developed by two people, Dan Brecklin and Bob Frankston, and they created this, and the interface of it was not very nice, but it did the job. It had the balance, you had to type everything, and it was DOS environment, which is fine, but it was not Microsoft settings that Bill Gates brought into the game. So nowadays, when we are talking about spreadsheet, usually we are referring to Excel. Excel has a lot of functions, a lot of ideas of how to do that. We have row, we have column, we have cell, we have range, and all of it is part of the terminology that we use in Microsoft Excel. In order for us to do that, we also have label and value and formula in order for us to make our life easy. However, the issue of spreadsheet is a little bit more problematic. Why is that? Is that we can see, our eyes can see only 9 columns and 18 rows, which means that we are going to see in reality 162 cells, which is quite few if we are going to talk about database of 1 million people or of 1 million data sets. And so this is the issue that we need to face in order for us to get the recognition or the understanding what is this data refers to. In Excel, we have a structure that is usually how we organize the data set in Excel, how we have a title, what is the application behind it, what we can do with that, and all of it is part of the Excel structure, how they organize. Example of Excel in my work, this is a Twitter account. I tried to sort it out. I had to clean it in order for us to analyze it. And again, this is part of how to do that, and it takes a lot of time. It's not a one-trick pony that you can do it in one take and go home and take a nap. No, it's a little bit more than that. So I did not yet answer the question. So why do we visualize? What is the benefits of visualize the data or the numbers that we have in our spreadsheet? So the first idea is that we are visual creatures. We like to see TV, we like to see movies, we get all our information from Facebook, which is basically a visual interface of what we do, and without visualization we might missing the missing pieces. As I said, when we present Excel spreadsheet and it's bigger than 175 cells that we can see, what happened if we are missing pieces? What happened if the missing pieces has an effect on the entire set? So the idea of the visualization is to take advantage of our most powerful senses, which is the vision. So we like to see things. An example, when someone is lying, we like to see what is the lie consist of. So those are the things that we are often obsessed about. So what is visual analytics? We take data, we apply different modules. Statistical module, or more elaborating model. We are trying to do the data mining, but we are converting into visualization in order for us to gain knowledge. So the visualization is the way for us to communicate in order for us to present or to share this information that it will be accessible to everyone. So the visualization is the form of mental image or vision. The visualize is to image or remember as actually seeing, and visualize is the idea of the process of representing abstract concept or data as an image, so we will build based on it meaning to the data or a better understanding. So we are here, and again, this is a bad visualization. I will try to teach you better the visualization, but that was displayed in the New York Times. And again, this is how they apply it and how to create it. We will try to learn about the visualization in the essence of the more aesthetic aspect and how we can communicate that better. So our goal for the class is to understand what makes visual analytics effective. For the study of the core principles, we will learn to critically evaluate the visual representation of data by looking at examples, and also get a hands-on experience with regard to visual analytic tools. And we will see different tools. I am very keen to one specific tool, and I will try to not be biased against the other, but I am very specifically favor of the open source R, and incorporate visual principles or goals in order for us to create better interactive visualization of your data. So in the type of visualization, we often count into two types: scientific visualization and visual analytics. Scientific visualization is about the structure of the data. It is about no inherent structure, and as a result, we can see different type of visualization. Visual analytics, in comparison to scientific visualization, is the idea that we are consist of a large amount of data. It can be in audio, video, text, images, network, and so on and so on. So those are the things that I will try to combine the scientific, but the focus of the class will be on the amount, and the issue of amount of data is really important. An example of our textbook, and it provides a very clear example. We have here two examples. One is a table, one is a graph. And the issue is, what communicate better? Is it the sales, the table, or the graph? And I will debate, and I will try to make a strong case that the visual works better, because we are getting lost in the table and we do not pay attention to what each variable, in that case the sales, the marketing, and operation, comes up with, in compared to the visualization that we can highlight. So the goal again is to use the visualization to tell a narrative. But as we are experienced with lies, of people telling us lies about facts, about data, about anything, and that is in 1954, Del Huff wrote about how to lie with statistics. It can also be applied to visualization, and visualization can also lie, and this is something that we need to be concerned with. And one of the things that I try to promote in my class is that in order for me not to lie, in order for me to be more transparent, is the use of open source, so everyone can use my application, my data source, and my analysis, in order for them to create what I have seen. And if they see something else, please report me back, instead of just lying without any proof that you are telling the truth or lie. So there's two videos that I really want you to see about visual analytics. The first is a professor, Hans Rosling. He died last year, but he created The Joy of Statistics, and it is a very impressive video. And it was produced by BBC, England public television, and where he displayed his idea of searching for data from the past in order for it to predict about the future, and how economics have changed since the early century, and how it apply. So this is really a good example of the power of visualization. The second video is by Handley Wickham, who is the creator of ggplot2. You're going to hear from me throughout the class his name again and again and again. He is the one who created the ggplot2, and you can see him talk. He's still alive, he's still kicking, and we are good friends, good buddies. And I think this is a good indication for you why is this class is so important. In this class, we're going to use several tools. Yes, we are going to use also Adobe Illustrator, but we are going to apply Google Table. Google Table is the ability of Google created a specific search that you are searching for a table instead of link, that consists of, for example, all the information about rentals in Tampa. And so they will see if there is available data in the form of a table that you can download and open it in order for you to see what it entails. And there is Tableau. Tableau is again a visual analytic tools, and we will learn how to use it. But there is also web application that you can work on the website itself. One of them is Plotly. Plotly is an open source application, and it is quite nice and quite accessible, so you can create your own code, but also to do the visualization out of it. And the last is the open source R, which is I am a big fan, and I will talk about that in 2 seconds. But let's start with the plot. And I said one of the things that the plot provides us to do is to convert visualization to tell a story, to tell a narrative. So in a story, if you attended any English class or storytelling class, they talk about the beginning, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the end result. And in a sense, it is the idea of how can you tell a story that will capture our attention and be able to apply to it. So again, my animation is not so good. I don't like PowerPoint, but this is part of what we do. The plot is the idea of organizing patterns or sequence of events that made up the story. So every plot, in a sense, make up a series of incidents or data points in order for us to relate to one another. So in the first stage is the exploration, where we most importantly present the idea of the conflict. Then we have the trying to see where is the conflict occurs and where we are trying to create a conflict. And then there's the climax, where is the top of the story, and this is where everything has to collapse or create another dimension. And then there's the falling of the action, and in the end, it ends. So this is the idea of the plot, and I want you to think about that of when you are going to see different module and different idea of how to tell the visual story using visual analytics. And so this is, I think, in the back of your mind, it's a good foundation of how to do that. The first we're going to see is Tableau the Public. And it is the idea of Tableau is open source, and you're going to see that. You're going to download the application to your platform, and you'll be able to import data from Excel, from text file or PDF, and be able to play with that in order for you to generate the visualization. So this is one tool. Another one is Plotly. And Plotly is, again, a website that you will need to register, and it allowed you to search, for example, if you are looking for different type of visualization or different type of data set, and you'll be able to see other people's work, which is really important, because the idea that learning from other people, learning their mistakes, learning about what can be done better, it's really important. So they show the plot, they show the data, they show the code behind it, and it allowed you to share and be able to see what can you do better. So this is important because the next tool is my own specialty. This is where I come in and try to tell you about what my experience, where I can contribute more about the idea of RStudio or R. What is R? First of all, it's not just the 18 letter of the alphabet. It is the idea of has a long story, and it is usually one of the most powerful data analytics tools ever exist. And the idea was that in 1976, Bell Lab, that before it was owned by AT&T, started to think about data analytics. And one of the person that worked in the lab was John Chambers. I met him in Stanford, and he started to develop a S language that was not popular as Bill Gates' Excel. But the power of his writing was that it allowed to have more transparency in the code and in the ability to apply the RS program to many or larger scale of data. Something that Excel does not do so well when you are applying large set of data. So in 1995, two New Zealand's professor, Ross Akea and Robert Geltman, created the R language. And they took the S language and converted to open application, open source programming language that they end up calling R. And this is where our story begins. And this is the idea. It is a community, and it's not one company that make profit. It's a community platform that we are creating the data analytics and data science, and this is where we build packages that allowed us to enhance our data, allowed us to collect, and allowed us to generate the visualization out of it. And we will see and learn about that throughout the semester, and I hope you will enjoy that. So this is the course about visual analytics. This is a class we will review what is applied and utilized in visual analytics application because of my background. And this is an online course. So if you have any questions or concern, please email me, Skype, or visit me at my office. Let's have a great semester. Until next time, have fun.